Thank you. I am officially with Quantum, and I want to point out Chris Kostiuk and Greg Schiff with their raised hands in the back. So they are the Western Canada contacts, et cetera. I've known Matt for many years, back when we were building out this platform and this ecosystem around Macs that were exploding in research and educational institutions and production studios, and we were building out at Xserve and storage, Xserve RAID, and Xshan. And as a technology evangelist at Apple, we would go on the road and go meet communities of users. And it was such a powerful notion that people are sharing information and best practices. And even then, I got to say, Matt stood out for the way that he would attack knowledge and then share it. Because Matt is one of the people I know that knows that information shared becomes way more powerful. And that has always stood out to me. So thank you, Matt. And when Matt proposed the idea of this conference, he literally had to say 3 words, and I said, whatever it takes, we're in, because we formally share information at things like SMPTE and events like that. But in a community like this, where there's so much technology evolving so quickly, it's tremendously exciting to us. So just to, not to spend too long, but just to share with you a couple of things that I learned working at Apple and at Active and building out startups. So the first I would say is from a guy called Steve. And Steve would gather a lot of Apple employees in meetings periodically. And one of the nuggets of wisdom that really applies, I think, to this environment is that if you want to do something big, start with a small team. And to me, that means that no idea, no matter how personal, is too small. If it's important to you, if it's solving a problem that you're finding, then it's critically important. And you have the chance with a small and focused team to build it, and now it'll survive as you share it, and it becomes more powerful and as people collaborate on it. And then you can also paraphrase, I guess, a Ridley Scott movie that says, great things often have small beginnings. So every one of these projects and all these new technologies announced, I mean, Lexi, technologies that weren't even around 10 years ago, new languages from Google, it seems like, Dart and Golang and all these great technologies are evolving so quickly, all come from really clear vision and oftentimes just a small personal idea. The second thing I would offer is from watching a guy called Tim at Apple, who would do this really interesting thing, that when people are presenting information to him and he's in a meeting, he is present. He is absolutely laser focused and present, and he is actively listening to that information. And then he does something that is absolutely terrifying to anyone presenting information to him. He uses a really small word. He uses the word why. And he figures out why. He keeps asking questions to carve his way to the heart of what he's trying to get at or what this meeting is about. And just those simple questions cut away a lot of the sort of cruft that gets attached to big projects. Why are we doing this? What's the reason we're doing this? What problem are we really trying to solve? And that, I would say, that lesson just is 99% of problems go away when you focus exactly on that. The third thing I would offer is that it's easy to do artificial intelligence with supercomputers. You got a supercomputer accounting for every possible circumstance. However, you can approximate a supercomputer in a fraction of that time with a simple framework of rules, triggers, and actions. So we're finding that you can manage gigantic networks by just these a simple framework of these 3 simple things: rules, triggers, and actions. So to me, DevOps, what's often called DevOps, to me is the real spirit of hacking in the truest and best sense of the word. In that hacking means that you automate the stupid stuff, you get predictability over chaos, and that means that when something hits the fan and you're always the person that's asked how to solve a problem or what to do, you've had the perspective because you've automated and pushed away all the dumb stuff so that you can focus on what's really important. So with that, I salute Matt and the presenters and all of you for attending. And finally, with the I guess one other word would just say that if you are working on Xsan today, Xsan and StoreNext have a very long history, are completely compatible, and obviously Matt is an expert in this. And if you have any questions on any of this throughout the day, hit us up, and enjoy the conference. And I hope those words were helpful and meaningful. Cheers. Thank you.